What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back once again for another movie review. We are finally here to finally talk about Avengers Endgame. Finally here, finally got to see it. And first off, I gotta say, if you guys do not want to be spoiled by anything, which this video, I don't want to spoil too much, but I also want to say my opinions on so much of this movie that if you have not seen the movie, don't watch this video if you don't care about spoilers, and by all means, I'm gonna try not to spoil the movie too much, but I'm gonna say first off, they kept true to the comics, they kept true to the story, and I'm gonna kind of jump around a little bit, so please bear with me. But it does start off right where we ended off in the last movie. Everyone's trying to deal with what happened. Tony is in space, and somehow they finally get back with the help of Captain Marvel. And when they finally arrive, everyone's still in remorse about losing everybody. And they find out that 50% of Earth was wiped out by Thanos, and they're trying to figure out where he is. And then finally, you see Ramar basically state she knows where he would go because he always talked about it. So as soon as that happens, they all go, okay, let's go, except for Tony because he's severely weak and tired. And then they finally go and they get their revenge and they do kill him. But then they finally realize that the stones are already gone because he used them to destroy them, so they could not bring anybody back. So, with that being said, they all go to fight them, and then Thor comes in for the kill and he kills him. Now, later on, about 5 years later, Ant-Man gets out of the quantum realm, and then he starts realizing everybody's gone. Everyone's gone, do their own thing, pick up the pieces of whoever's left within the world. You have where Hawkeye, he became the Ronin, he became an assassin. You had where Tony decided to become a father and start life with Pepper. Then you had Hulk, aka Bruce Banner, which you were able to show him with his brain, but still being Hulk form. And then they finally did decide to create something with the timeline to go back and change everything, so that way they could get the each of the stones and be able to stop Thanos, which they do, but it comes at a cost with one of their own. And this got me as well within the movie because I had a feeling there was going to be some more deaths in this movie because there was a lot of characters that came back within this movie. There's characters that did not come back in this movie. I was really hoping that we were going to get to see a lot of what we got to see in the last one, but we did get to see more than what I anticipated. But unfortunately, we lost Black Widow, aka Scarlett Johansson, in the retrieval of the Death Stone. Between her and Hawkeye, they were trying to see what was going to happen and who was going to be the ultimate sacrifice. And then finally, they were fighting over what was going to happen. And she made this ultimate sacrifice to make sure that they would be able to survive. So they did lose her, and that was one issue within the movie. And then Thanos in the past finds out due to the future Gamora about or Nebula, my bad, Nebula, and they use her to go into the future and try to steal the stones. Now Tony does make the Iron Gauntlet, so I thought that was really cool to see. Hulk used it so he could bring everybody back, so we did get to see that. And then Thanos attacks the Avengers headquarters, and then they all just start fighting. And then finally, we get to see the biggest fight at the end of the movie between everybody returning from all the worlds, because you got to see the army of Wakanda. We got to see the army of Thor's home world. We got to see the army with Doctor Strange. We got to see everybody come back. And it was absolutely badass to see, guys, because this was what I was talking about in the earlier discussions that before this movie even came out. Like, what if they had, Tony's, blah, 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 or they did this, and they put everything within this movie. And then finally, when they were doing this, it was just what I wanted in the very first film, which they saved in this one, and I thought it was just absolutely amazing because I obviously was waiting for a magnificent battle we got to see, and finally got to hear Avengers Assemble by Captain America. Um, we finally got to see that, and there was some other things that happened as well. It finally got revealed because Thor, ever since Uh, he killed Thanos. He still feels like a failure. He let himself go. He became like a fat loser gamer in a basement of the new so-called world that he built, and that was absolutely hilarious seeing that. And then he found out he was still worthy, going back in time, talking to his mother. That really did help him, as well as also when they were fighting. Guess who was worthy of picking up the gauntlet and the hammer, and it was Captain America, and that was amazing to see. And then he says, "I knew it." So the main one that was worthy was Captain America. And when they were going back in time, Tony got to meet his father, got to kind of know what he was fighting for, of course, Pepper, the world, Peter Parker, his daughter, Captain America, Steve Rogers, got to see Peggy again. So that was really hard for him to see, as well as everything that they'd gone through within the last decades. And when they're fighting, they finally get to see everybody just fight, and the whole entire battle was absolutely incredible. Seeing Black Panther return, Scarlet Witch, got to see Warhawk, got to see um, Guardians return. Only thing was that Zagramar, she could not be brought back, unfortunately, due to the Death Stone. Same thing with Black Widow. Even though at the end of the movie, Hulk did say he was gonna try, but he couldn't. And again, guys, more spoilers coming, so I do apologize. It's a huge spoiler video. Um, I was sad to see this, but I had a feeling I know we were gonna see more deaths because it wrapped up Black Widow's story, even though there's supposedly a movie coming. So this is probably gonna be before Avengers: Infinity War. Uh, we lost also Tony Stark, aka Robert Downey Jr. He's finally, I guess, he's finally done with Iron Man, because in the movie he does sacrifice himself by grabbing the gauntlet that he made and snapping his fingers and saying, "I'm Iron Man," which basically he destroys Thanos and his entire army, and he gives them everybody a fighting chance. So he uses his power for a fighting chance, and then when that happens, Peter, he breaks down crying. So does Pepper after she says rest. And it does get revealed he still does have his daughter, uh, as well as everyone does survive. But then after they have his funeral, and then they go into Return the Stones, which Captain America says he's going to. But there's something kind of weird there that I know is going to happen. And then right when it says it's going to be 5 seconds for us, but however long he needs. So apparently he does Return the Stones, but then it's like, okay, where the hell is he? And then Bucky's like, to Warhawk, he's like, look. And then he just looks, and you see a man standing at the lake, and it is older Steve Rogers. He stayed in the 50s, so he could build a life. It was either the 50s. I don't think it was 50s. I apologize. I want to say it was the late 70s. Um, he was it 50s? I can't remember if it was 50s or 70s, but he did start a life with Peggy. He was able to finally have a life with her. He basically did give. He carried the shield to give to Warhawk, so he will be the new Captain America in future films, more than likely. And then he says, "What? How does it feel?" He says, "It doesn't feel like mine." He says, "Because," he says, "it is yours," and he says, "It will feel like it." And then it just goes to Captain America with Peggy, and that's how the film ends. So they did wrap up a lot of things within this film that I did not think was going to happen. They put Smart Hulk in there. They put the suits in there. They put battle against Thanos with the armies, which was absolutely amazing. Bringing everybody back, also with meeting everybody, and just all these twists and turns of who's going to pick up Thor's hammer, and just all this different stuff that we're going to put in this film. But this film, absolutely, I gotta say, even though it was probably the saddest, it was also probably, I think, the greatest film within Marvel. And they went. I think this is probably close to movie of the year. I think it will be close to the movie of the year. If it ain't, I will be shocked. It'll probably be the top 2 or 3 within 2019. But guys, this movie was absolutely fantastic. I do recommend you go watch it. Hell, I want to watch it again when I'm able to. I'm gonna try to get the whole collection of the Marvel movies and everything. But let me know if you went to go see Avengers Endgame in the comments down below. What did you think of it? What was your thoughts of it? What do you think about future films? I know Marvel's going to be taking a break after this to reevaluate what they're going to do in future films. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But if you guys are new to the channel, always consider subscribing. Links down in the description below. I know this was a late review. I try to watch it as quickly as possible. Between work and personal stuff and school, it was taking a lot of my time. So, and just being plain exhausted as well. So I was finally able to watch the movie, and I absolutely just enjoyed myself. So without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you thought about it, as well as the movie. What was your favorite part of the movie? What was the least part of the movie? I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments down below, as always. And I'll be seeing you guys on the very next video.